Another way to make your AR apps really great is to add spatial sounds to your 3D objects. So the idea is that if the user gets closer to an object, the sound would be louder, and if the sound is on the right, the sound would only be heard on the right ear if the user is using a headset. This can be very powerful, and I just want to show you quickly how we can design a drone that is going to rotate around the user so you can get a better understanding of 360 degrees sound. Okay, so first of all, let's start by creating a new Xcode project. Click Next, and that's going to be called AR Drone. Click Next and create. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going in this lecture to stay in the scene editor where we are going to design our drone. So let's rename this AR Drone. In here, I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to delete the ship. Okay, so let's just add some procedural sky. And so first of all, let's drag a box. And let's make a bit more space. And as usual, I'm going just to add some lights. So a directional light shining down and an ambient light as well. That's going to be a bit less dark. So about here. Okay, so this is going to be 0.01 in height. Let's think about this. So the width is going to be 0.2 and the length is going to be 0.02. I think that should be okay. Right, okay, so you can zoom in on that. The chamfer radius, you can add just one in there, so that's going to be a little bit softer. And now what we want to add is our first leg on top of this frame, basically. So to do this, I'm going to add a cylinder. And the radius is going to be 0.005, so 1 centimeter in diameter, and the height is going to be 0.08, so 8 centimeter. Okay, so that cylinder could go inside of this box. That's going to be frame, and the cylinder is going to be a leg. Okay, so let's move the leg right in the middle, and then we can drag it to the edge here. So yeah, let's put this at 0.09. Okay, and then we are going to add another box. So I have another smaller box actually. So if I look for a box, you can see I've got my box here, but I've also created a smaller box. So this one is is smaller, and that's easier for me to design in ARKit. So this one is going to be one blade, and it's going to be black. So let's just change the diffuse to black, and so the height is going to be 0.001. The width, let's do a 0.01 as well. Yeah. The length is going to be, let's say, 4 centimeters. this will double, so actually 3 centimeters should be enough. Let's do 4. Okay. And this is going to be a blade. I'm going to put this blade inside of the leg. So now let's go inside of this blade. I'm going to do 0, 0, and 0. And so, okay, so we want this to be high like this, and we are going to pull this out as well. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is to give it a little bit of an angle like that. Oop, too close. Okay, yeah, not bad. Okay, so we need to now copy this as well. So where are we exactly? So 35. So this is going to stay, and this we're going to need to do the opposite. So if you hold the Option key and drag, I will create another one. So this one is not in it's not in the leg, that's why it's a bit different. Okay, so if I look at this blade now, you see minus almost the same, 23, so we need 19 here. Okay, and here as well we need to reverse this, so I'm going to remove, and there we go. We've got our first set of blades. What we are going to do is we are going to rotate this leg, so it won't look like the leg is rotating because it's just white, but these blades will look like they are going to rotate, right? So let's add some rotation to this. So make sure you've got the leg selected, and in here rotate, oops, go action and rotate action. So this is going to rotate forever, and if I go in here to inspect, I can add, we want this to be actually really quick, so if I do 300, that's probably not very quick actually. I think I'm that would probably go down, wouldn't it? So let's do a you know what, minus 2000. Yeah, okay, so this is more like it. That's more what we need. Okay, brilliant. So now we can start to double this. So this leg here, let's check its position exactly. So we are at 0.09. So I need the same here that I'm going to add inside of my frame again. And this leg needs to be at minus 0.09. Okay, so now we have a start of something that could maybe fly. Brilliant. So if you close all of this and create another frame, so you can keep the Option key here, or Alt key, and rotate this thing here. So that's going to create another one. Okay, so what I want is those two, not in here, but those two frames here inside of my drone. And you can see how they are not in the center right now. So I need those two to have a position of 0 completely. So this frame has an angle of minus 50, so that's too much. We need something like minus 25. Okay, 35 maybe. Minus 35, and for the other one we'll do the opposite. So that would be a 35 degrees here. Okay, so we can see now this definitely looks a lot more like a drone. all we need to add now is a body and a little camera under the body. So for the body, I'm going to add the sphere, and I'm going to mess around with its scale a little bit, so it's not going to be a sphere anymore. So right now it's huge and I can't see anything, so let's just make this a lot smaller. Okay, so 0.6, yeah, so 6 centimeter radius. And if you go inside of the node inspector, here you will see that you have the scale, and we can flatten this here like so. And same for, I think it's the Z, yes. Okay. So yeah, 0.4 and 554, something like this. So that looks good. I think that looks really good. Let's just add a bit of color to this drone body like this, and I put, so this is called a body, and the body is now going to be inside of my drone, and I don't think it is right now, no. So let's just put the body right at the top. Okay, and I'm going to actually, those two frames are going to be slightly higher. Right, now we can add another little sphere, so I should have a little ball created, yes. Okay, and so this is going to be, okay, so yeah, 0.015 should be enough. So camera, and this camera is going to be inside of the body. Let's make sure it's centered correctly, but not in the Y position, because we need this to be, oh, actually, yeah, let's just do 0, 0, 0. Oh, it's the body that I changed. Okay, so let's go again. So this, and this is at 0, and here the Y needs to go down a little bit. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, and to finish, I'm just going to add a little cylinder. So yeah, very, very tiny. 0, 1, let's see. And for the height, 0.04. That's way too much, just 1. And this is going to be black as well, so let's just remove this and add this black. I think the radius is actually too small, so how about 4? How about 3? Yeah, 3 is not too bad. Okay. All right, so let's make sure that this, I'm just going to call this cam, is inside of this camera and at a 0, 0, 0 position. So make sure you've got it selected. 0, 0, 0, and drag it down until it just appears like this. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to put a bit of an angle to this. Oops. So that camera is inside of the body, and you can see how this changed everything. So that's not what we want. I can put the camera outside of the body, and now it doesn't change the shape of it. However, that could be a really cool feature, because that means that you can pretty much distort any cube or anything. Good to know. Okay, so there we go. We have our drone, which is great. Now we need this to be a little bit further this way, and also we are going to add a bit of an angle. So the other way, like that, so that it's obviously flying, so it needs to have a bit of an angle to rotate, right? Okay, what else? So let's actually make sure that this is a little bit higher, and I'm going to add some rotation to it. So rotate action. So actually the drone is over there. What we need is to rotate like we've done with the solar system. So I'm going to create a node. I'm just going to add it in here. That's going to be my rotation. I'm going to put this at the top. Rotation is exactly in the center, and the drone is inside of this rotation. Okay, so now we can rotate this node. So if we go in here and add a rotate action and inspect, so we can add a rotation. So let's put something like, what should we do? Every second is going to do 180 degrees. How is that? That's too quick, and I want this to rotate the other way actually. So it's going to be a minus 100 per second. Yeah. Still a little bit quick, I think. So, let's do like 100, sorry, minus, 75. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, brilliant. So, very last thing now is just to add a little bit of music that comes out, and that would be visual, which means particles. So if I look for particle system, and I will attach this directly inside. Wow, it is really big. Okay, let's just put this to 0 birth rate because it just gets a bit annoying. Right, so first, those particles are going to be inside of my drone in here, and they are going to be music notes. Oop. Music notes, okay? Right, so the size is going to be 0.05, and this is going to be white. Okay, so let's just add 20, and they do not have any linear velocity whatsoever. So if we rotate, we can see that this is now showing a little bit, we understand better where this is going. So let's just reduce these even more. Okay, and so I've got a music note, a PNG that I'm going to give you guys, but you can find any on the internet, I'm sure. So not.png, yes, that's the one. Okay, so let's just show this in Finder. I'm going to open this first because I need to drag it in here. So one of those that's going to be in the assets, obviously, that you can just drag and drop into your art.scn assets. And will obviously be also in the final project. Right. Okay, so we can see this note PNG now here. So if I go back to this drone, and here I can change the image to the note. Okay, so let's run this, see how it looks. Can't see much. So I think I need to make those bigger. Okay. Direction mode is a random. What else can we do? So initial angle, maybe a little bit of angle here. Let's try. No. So linear velocity, just a little bit of this. Okay, so yeah, that's actually not bad. So let's just make this a bit darker so you can see. Okay, not bad. That's gonna do. Obviously, you're more than welcome to make this look even better, but I don't want to waste your time here. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how we can attach some sound to this drone, and it's going to be actually fairly quick and simple.